you never prepare for what actually happens. And when things do happen, you're kind of left to go, what? You kind of question everything. And fortunately, I have a great group of friends and family, and I'm away from everything, right? And I started calling and talking to people and trying to make sense of it. And I was on the phone with Brad, and we're just talking back and forth, and it dawned on me that we don't have to remember my dad as someone who's just laying in bed, who kicks you out of the room, who dribbles a cookie down his shirt, and who doesn't look good, who doesn't feel very good. And I realized that we don't have to think like that anymore, that he has, 80 some years of quality life behind him that we're free to think about. And now seeing everybody here, I see Whitney, that's football, that's old neighborhood, that just opens up everything. And, in death, it frees you up for so much life that you don't want to thank my dad for dying. I don't want to go that far, but he didn't have a good life. He wasn't happy. I don't think anybody was happy with what he was living like. You just don't wish that on people. And so when the time came, he had one day, Ann was there, my mom was there, Tina was there, people were on the phone, so he got so much support on that last day that he said, I'm out of here, I'm done. And that was the best thing that could have happened, is your dad passes away, but you don't have to think about what he was for too long. Now we're all free to think about what he was for so long, and that's 85 years of high quality life. And I can tell you that the theater brings back a lot of memories. My career started right there. It did. It was short and sweet. One of the directors saw Stephen playing, we were just play acting, and let me say this, I'm not an actor, I'm a jock. My dad said, he wanted so much to have me in the theater. I think they'd be great as street urchins in Pygmalion. And so the director comes over and said, you guys are in. And I said, but I have a hockey trip. And my dad said, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. And he goes, no, you're in Pygmalion. You're the street urchin. You open the show. It's so important. And so what did I do? I stayed. I opened the show, and I missed the hockey trip to Des Moines. And where's John Burkford? John Burkford, he did not go too, so we are both scarred for life. I'm serious. I have not set foot on stage, but I have been dragged to more plays than anybody I know. But the one play that caught me by surprise and converted me, and I tried to get today to start out like this, is if anyone's seen Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, it starts with two guys sitting right there, and people mill in and sit down, and they start talking amongst themselves, and they kind of argue, and then they stand up, and then all of a sudden they're on the stage, and you get sucked in, and then you realize that's part of the show. And from then on, I had a different appreciation for the play, the theater, and now I can safely say that I truly like plays, because they're moments created by individuals that have some impact. And my dad had a lot of impact, and whether you recognize it at the time, but now I look back on it, he formulated a lot of my perceptions and a lot of my rants and a lot of my opinions, and all his were unique. He didn't try to be anybody else than who he was. And at the end of the day, he was just my dad, and that was always good enough for me. And so he's going to appreciate this, and I'm sure he's loving every minute of it. So that's again, thank you all for coming, and let's continue a little bit longer.
If you look upon every exit as being an entrance to somewhere else.
Very
Love
nice.
that. Does anyone have? Yeah.
I'll go.
And
After you, can I go?
What?
After you, can I go?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to come with me?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
oh, you're taking your places. Make sure you come up.
Yeah. All right. I thought your dad did a good job, Dan.
Yeah.
Nice job.
He's a master.
Wow. What do you want to talk about?
I have a memory whenever, like, he was like in this giant building in St. Paul.
The hospital?
I don't know, was it a hospital, probably? The one I
Yeah.
Well, the nursing home, Bethel.
But it was like in St. Paul, it wasn't the one he was in. So we're going up the elevator with a box of cookies, of course. And I'm just sitting there because I was like 10 or 11. I'm 12 now, so I didn't really know what the heck was going on. So we get to this room, and then I see Bob just sitting there watching the Twins game, and him like yelling at the TV. We hand him the plate of cookies, and he like I literally saw his pupils got like 20 times bigger. I saw those cookies, and he ate them with joy. And after I thought we had like a big moment going on, and I was smiling because I didn't really know what the heck was going on. And he's like, "Thank you for coming."
Yeah.
Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was his age when I really realized that my dad had the theater bug, and he would give me $2 if I would clean up after his cocktail parties. I had to, keep the drinks and the cigarette ashtrays away. And what we had a live-in girl named Mary, and so we didn't know how this worked. Like, people would come, they'd get a drink, they would smoke a cigarette, and then they would all go in their cars and they would all drive away, including my dad and my mom. And so, and then I got the $2 for cleaning up. And I said to Mary, "Where did they go?" She goes, "They went to somebody's house, his name was Guthrie." And that was the beginning of, like, if you had a cocktail at our house, you had to go see a play. And he got a lot of people to do that, and a lot of people really liked doing that. And then I think he wanted to get more and more into doing something. And so he volunteered to find housing for the actors at the Guthrie, because they were in repertoire, and they were from New York usually, and they didn't know anybody. And so instead of finding housing for them, they stayed at our house. And they loved my dad. They just loved my dad, and they felt at home, and we had nice dinners, and it was great. And then somehow the Guthrie transformed into Theater in the Round, and I don't remember where it was, but because he would take me to the old space, and then I remember he took me to this building when they were going to buy it and turn it into a theater, and it was a pizza place. And all I remember was this pizza upside down on the floor that was green. And it was been there forever, and I'm just like, I'm not going to go. And so then life started where this was turned into a theater, and I remember him sizing up me and Tommy, and I don't know if Carney was there. So we got a job, and we went underneath these risers and screwed in the nuts because we were little. And that was a lot of days of doing that. And then I can't even, I forgot we were in Pygmalion. We would just be told that we were going to be in a play. And our cat, Milton, was in Pygmalion. Not only did Tommy miss his hockey thing, but Milton, who was not an actor, for the beginning when we started the play. And then I had to go up the stairs, and there was a man named Charles Nolte And I would go up the stairs and he'd go, "Ah, Milton." And he would hold Milton for the rest of the play until the closing act, and then we would go get Milton again. And I remember my dad just said to me once, like, "You're going to be in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead because they need a drummer." And it was like, okay. And I think I had to go boom, 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 and that was it. But I fell in love with that play too. It was so great. And ironically enough, this is the set of the Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, and that was the first play that I auditioned for here. The very first time that this theater did the Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, and Whitney, it was Your Mom was Jean Brodie. And it was so fun to be in that play. It was just, there were so many really great actors and actresses in that play, and it was really a thrill of a lifetime. And my dad would come and pick me up after the theater. So a lot of, he said he didn't stay for the performances, but I know he did. He probably saw it as many times as we did it. And then the last thing, which I just forgot, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say.
Don't ask me. I'm not like I can't read your mind.
Do you have anything else to say?
That Bob loved us all, even though maybe like not all of us like theater, but he probably misses all of us, and we miss him.
Yep. I miss him. I miss him.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't talk about that.
So great. I'm Brad, Bob's stepson, and if Tom's career started right here, mine ended right here. I reached the zenith of my acting career as a dead body. It wasn't going to get any better after that. That was the end. You were very convincing. I was proud of that. The big boisterous laugh is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Bob, and the huge sense of humor, and I look forward to hearing many more of the funny stories from out here or afterwards. Maybe not all of them, but more of them. But mine is not funny. He wasn't even boisterous. It was just a random afternoon in a car, and I just started thinking about what came to mind when I thought most about Bob, and it was how much he supported me, especially supported me in my school career. And I don't just mean the $400 a quarter at the U of M, which doesn't sound like that much now, although added up over enough years like I did, it does add up. But it was just more that I think his belief in me and supported me was there before I was aware of where I might want to head. And there was one particular day in the car when he was just picking me up from somewhere. It was before I started college. I don't remember where I was getting picked up from, but he just made an offhanded comment that made me feel such support in that direction that I think it probably had that particular moment comes to mind, but overall his support I think had a huge influence in the rest of my life, and I love him for that very subtle but meaningful support, and he's still here very much in a real